Now let's move to the intermediate level, or as Krashen and Terrell call early speech production, and Wieder refers to this proficiency level as beginning and moving into developing, where English learners are first able to produce short sentences or phrases, and then are able to expand their sentences by using graphics and interactive supports. Overall, there are often morphological, syntactical, and phonological errors. In other words, errors in students' word choices, their grammar, and pronunciation in English. Therefore, paraphrasing, fill in the blanks, or simple who, what, where type questions are typical strategies that are evidenced in the classroom as modifications for English learners at the intermediate level. This being said, what strategies would you, as an expert in the field of exceptional student education, suggest for pre-K through 12 teachers to assist ELs with special needs at the intermediate level of English proficiency?
One first strategy I would use is non-linguistic representation. Non-linguistic is usually defined by Marzano's 6 strategy. According to him, it's used visual, kinesthetic, and whole body systems to acquire and store knowledge. Mental images and physical simulations are used. It does require pictures, a lot of graphics. It allows students to reflect and better recall knowledge based on pictures and symbols that relate to them. An example of this is images that can be expressed through not just visual, but sound, touch, how they relate to someone. Food is a really good non-linguistic representation. Students are able to show their work through dramatic play. I know teachers are not always excited about dramatic play, but it works for students. They get excited about it. Graphic organizers are used in classrooms all the time for everything: math, science, social studies, reading. But physical models, things that students get to build, and that's where Nancy Sola comes into play with students taking charge, giving students the ability to create something their own to represent what they learned is huge in education. Students are usually told you need to do a PowerPoint presentation, but when they have the choice to make a movie or a video or create a puppet show, they're showing the skills that they learned, but through a way they feel comfortable with. Another strategy is copying and filling in the blanks. I know it sounds like a simple strategy of students copying information. However, it's not as simple. Hand-eye coordination, looking at the board, making sure that you're writing stuff down on the paper, that's huge, especially for students that have a language impairment as well as a disability. We take that for granted at times. Just for example, if you're having a student copy the date from the board and you want them to write May 15th, 2015. If they need to write the date as Friday, they might not know how to spell Friday. So that frustration right there, not being able to spell Friday, can stop a student in their tracks and they don't want to continue. Using a word bank at the bottom of their paper, then they're able to say, does Friday start with an F? And look through the choices if it starts at Monday. They might also know if you went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that Friday is the last day of the week, so they will put that. Does that show that they actually know the knowledge? Or does it show they know how to look and pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So a teacher for them to be able to know that's what the student can do, mixing it up every day, starting at Sunday and going Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then have Saturday at the end and see if they pick Friday again. If they can spell that correctly, that means that they learned that knowledge. And moving it from their paper to the board is a major step. Looking at the board that's 3 to 5 feet away and copying on your paper requires a lot of attention. Making sure they put the F down, the R down, the I down. You're able to see if they miss a letter. or if they start it with the wrong. Those are skills and strategies that teachers maybe take for granted at times, but it is very important knowing how the students react to what they're doing on paper, making sure they follow what you're doing. It's a simple skill, but we sometimes overlook it.
Absolutely. Copying and filling in the blank has been a strategy for many years. But being aware of this strategy and the effects of this strategy for students with a lack of proficiency in English and students with special needs seems to be the key point here, and that being aware of which strategies to choose that are most effective for the students. And at the intermediate level, this seems to be quite applicable.
Yes, and you can use non-linguistic representation in with fill in the blank. You're able to combine those two and provide pictures on the board, especially for intermediate students. They tend to get a little discouraged if they don't know how to spell something correctly. But having the picture with the word on the board or having a model that displays it, they're better able to feel independent and have self-confidence. And
the concept of choice is so important for students as well as for teachers. So the non-linguistic representation is also a very effective strategy. I would absolutely agree.